Ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Dance Radio.
Prepare yourself.
Ang silid-aralan sa radyo, hatid namin ay makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo at kalaman. Mapaumaga, tanghali o hapon man yan, ang istasyong magbibigay impormasyon kahit saan man.
For something big. Alright, here we go.
106.3 Dance Radio. Doña Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela.
This
106.3 DWBR-FM. TLE, Technology and Livelihood Education. TLE, Learning Area, Automotive Servicing, Beauty Care, Electronics Product Assembly and Servicing, Cookery, Electrical Installation and Maintenance, Dressmaking, Computer System Servicing, mga leksyong pangkabuhayan, edukasyong teknolohikal, mapapakinggan dito lang yan sa 106.3 Dance Radio. TLE, Learn and Earn.
Hello, good afternoon po sa ating lahat. Shout out sa mga nakikinig sa mga bahay-bahay at nanonood via Facebook Live. Magandang hapon sa ating lahat. Good afternoon, dear learners, especially the grade 8 learners taking up Information and Communications Technology from 8 Aristotle, 8 Copernicus, and 8 Socrates. Ganon din, binabati namin ang mga learners natin from grade 10 SPJ or Special Program in Journalism. Maraming salamat sa hapong ito. Good afternoon sa ating principal, OIC, Sir Rodrigo V. Pascual, Chief Education Supervisor, our Assistant Principal, Ma'am Ruby R. Guillermo, and to all our equally talented head teachers from the different learning areas, especially to Sir Jefferson Aguinaldo. Hindi ko na makalimutan, Ma'am. And kasama natin sa hapong ito si Ma'am Joy Madamba at si Ma'am Ryan Neripi Bakud. Yan, good afternoon, dear teachers.
Hello, good afternoon po sa lahat. Again, ako po si Teacher Joy. ICT teacher po ako ng grade 7 and grade 8. And also grade 9 SPJ and grade 10. Good afternoon po sa lahat. Good afternoon, Ma'am. Ma'am Florilyn. Kay Ma'am Ryan, nakasama din namin. Naka-work from home. At again, binabati ko po or shout out sa aking mga anak. Grade 8, Copernicus. Grade 7, Galileo. Grade 9 and 10, SPJ. Sa mga ka-TLE namin, Ma'am Ryan, Ma'am Lee, Ma'am Rosalie, Ma'am Dandit, Ma'am Marilyn, Ma'am Malbe, Ma'am Maylene, Sir Edwin, Sir MJ, at ang aming TLE head na si Sir Jeff. Gayon din po kay Sir Rod, kina Ma'am Ruby, sa lahat po ng head ng iba't ibang learning area at sa mga teaching and non-teaching staff ng Doña Aurora National High School. Salamat po. Good afternoon.
Ako naman pwedeng mag-greet. Okay. So good afternoon naman po sa lahat ng ating mga viewers at ating mga listeners. I would like to say hello to Ken Pindalo, sa 8 Maroon, to all CSS 9 and 10. Ayan. Siyempre sa mga kagaya kong work from home at saka nandyan sa ating school, keep safe everyone.
Okay, so there is so much to say when we talk about computers. Do you agree with me, Ma'am Joy?
Yeah.
They work as a system. What does that mean? Computer system is a set of integrated devices that are used to input, output, process, store data and information.
That's true, Ma'am Florilyn. I agree with you. Computers have become the powerful tool in the delivery of learning amidst sa COVID-19 pandemic. So, kagaya nga ng napag-usapan po natin kahapon, we are actually using different types of in particularly mga microcomputers, andyan, mga gumagamit ng cellphone, gumagamit ng desktop, tsaka laptop. Okay, meron din mga iba gumagamit ng smart TV, tapos meron din naman yung mga kasama nating iba dyan, yung iba nating mga learners, okay, na nakikinig sa ating RBI through 106.3 Dance FM.
Yes, tama ka dyan, Ma'am Ryan.
Yes. So, since na-mention na ni Ma'am Ryan yung RBI, bago tayo magsimula, let's listen first to our RBI na i-air today.
About
Ang topic natin for today is computer hardware and
Software.
software.
okay, so yan, pakinggan na natin ang
makinig
ating
tayo.
RBI.
Dance Radio, siniparalan sa radyo, hatid namin makabago, paraan ang pagtuturo.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 Dance Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta't magtulong-tulong, sulong edukalidad. Dance Radio, learning is amazing.
TLE, Technology and Livelihood Education.
TLE Learning Area.
TLE Learning Area.
Automotive Servicing.
Beauty Care.
Electronic Products Assembly and Servicing.
Cookery.
Electrical Installation and Maintenance.
Dressmaking.
Computer System Servicing.
Mga leksyong pangkabuhayan. Edukasyong teknolohikal.
Matutunghayan dito sa
106.3
Dance Radio. TLE Learning Area.
Technology and Livelihood Education.
Learn and earn.
Good day, everyone. I am glad to be with you in this 30-minute broadcast. I hope that you will enjoy our interesting topic. Please get your writing materials and learning activity sheets for Quarter 1, Week 1, so we can start our lesson in Computer Systems Servicing 10. The learning activity sheets provide you different activities that will help you become familiar with the topics or lessons
On assembling computers.
Dance Radio, siniparalan sa radyo, hatid namin makabago, paraan ang pagtuturo.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 Dance Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta't magtulong-tulong, sulong edukalidad. Dance Radio, learning is amazing.
TLE, Technology and Livelihood Education.
TLE Learning Area.
TLE Learning Area.
Automotive Servicing.
Beauty Care.
Electronic Products Assembly and Servicing.
Cookery.
Electrical Installation and Maintenance.
Dressmaking.
Computer System Servicing.
Mga leksyong pangkabuhayan. Edukasyong teknolohikal.
Matutunghayan dito sa
106.3
Dance Radio. TLE Learning Area.
Technology and Livelihood Education.
Learn and earn.
Good day, dear listeners, especially the grade 8 and grade 10 learners taking up information and communications technology. This is your school on the air, and it's TLE time! I am glad to be with you in this 30-minute broadcast. I hope that you will join me in discussing our exciting topic until the very end. Please get your writing materials and learning activity sheets titled Computer Hardware and Software. The learning activity sheets provide you with various activities that will help you become familiar with our topic. Come, join us as we explore the computer hardware and software and be amazed on how they function in the computer system. When we talk about computer system, we refer to a set of integrated devices that are used to input, output, process, and store data and information. Are you ready to know more about the hardware and software in a computer system?
Yes, sir!
Alright, a computer system has components that work together when a computer is operated. Some of these components can be seen partly from outside. Some components are inside the computer box or tower that we cannot see them.
Wow! I wish I can see what's inside the tower. It seems interesting.
That's true. Do you know what a computer hardware is?
Sir, I've read that computer hardware are parts of the computer that have physical structure. In other words, computer hardware are anything that you can see and touch.
You are right. What about computer software?
Sir, computer software are the programs and other operating information used by a computer to function.
Precisely. You did an awesome job. Everything that you do in your computer will rely on the computer hardware and software. In today's lesson, you are expected to first, identify and differentiate computer hardware from software. And second, enumerate the different types of software. Are you ready for all of these?
Yes, sir!
So, what are you waiting for? Brace yourselves and let's get started. In your learning activity sheets titled Computer Hardware and Software, read the background information for learners, and we shall start discussing our lesson after the short reminder.
Flashlight, check. Baterya, check. Radyo, check. Gamot, check. Delata, check. Ano pa kayang kulang sa aking survival kit?
O sis, anong ginagawa mo? Aanin mo ang mga yan.
Narinig ko kasi ang balita sa radyo na may paparating na bagyo sis. Kailangan nating paghandaan ito.
Ha? Ganun ba? Hindi ko narinig ang balita na yan.
Naku sis, dapat ay alerto tayo sa mga ganitong balita. Alam naman nating mahirap kalaban ng kalamidad.
Ay oo nga, sinabi mo pa sis. Sige, uwi na ako. Sisiguraduhin kong handa ang pamilya ko sa darating na bagyo.
Tandaan, hindi maiwasan ang pagdating ng mga kalamidad. Kinakailangan maghanda para sa ating kaligtasan upang sa huli ay di natin pagsisisihan. Ligtas ang may alam.
Isang paalala mula sa himpilang ito.
Kayo nakikinig sa TLE Grade 8. Kasama si Teacher Michael Chan M. Tumulak.
I'm back! I hope you already read the background information provided in your learning activity sheets. You said earlier that computer hardware is any physical structure that you see and touch. You have to remember that computer hardware are classified as input device, processing device, output device, and storage device. Let us explain further the classification of computer hardware by elaborating its functions and giving examples of each classification so you can fully understand the computer hardware. Before we start, what is the longest dictionary word that can be typed using keys in only one row on your standard QWERTY keyboard?
Sir, please tell us now.
The longest word is typewriter. Amazing, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, say I am ready if you are.
I am ready.
The first classification of computer hardware is input device. What does input device do to your computer?
Sir, input device is any peripheral device that sends or provides data to a computer.
That's right. One example of input device is a keyboard. The electrical signals for the alphabets typed on the keyboard are converted to binary system and stored in the computer. The computer can only recognize 2 digits. These are 0 and 1.
Wow, it is really interesting.
The keyboard here acts as input device that inputs data or instructions, and these are converted into a pattern of electrical signals. These signals correspond to binary code that can be processed by a digital computer. Can you give me another input device?
Sir, another input device is a scanner. It optically reads an image, converts it to a digital signal, and these digital signals are stored or processed by the computer. For example, a scanner is used to convert a printed picture, drawing, or document to a digital file that can be edited in the computer.
Very well said! What more can I say? Are there more examples of input devices that you know?
Mouse, sir. It is used to navigate the computer.
Very good! Did you also know that the first mouse prototype was made of wood and was invented by Douglas Engelbart and built by Bill English in 1964?
Wow! Look at the mouse that we are using today. There are even wireless ones.
Exactly! That is what we call technology. Now, let's proceed with the second hardware classification, which is processing device. What is a processing device?
Sir, a processing device is any device inside a computer that interprets and manipulates incoming data.
That's correct. What is an example of processing device?
Sir, a central processing unit or CPU is an example of processing device.
Do you know what the CPU does in your computer?
I have no idea. Sir, please tell us.
Surely. CPU is known as the brain of the computer. A processor speed is measured in megahertz and gigahertz. Hertz is the derived unit of frequency and is defined as 1 cycle per second. The higher the hertz, the faster the process in of instructions is. CPU is generally a 2-inch ceramic square with a silicon chip called microprocessors located inside. It has 3 main parts: the arithmetic logic unit or ALU, control unit or CU, and the registers. Can you give another example of processing device?
Motherboard. It is the computer's main circuit board. It holds the CPU, memory, connectors for the hard drive and optical drives, expansion cards, video card, sound card, network card, and various external port and peripherals.
Very good! Now, let us move to the third classification of the computer hardware. It is output device. What do you know about output device?
Sir, an output device is any piece of computer hardware that is used to communicate the results of data processing carried out by an information processing system, like a computer which converts the electronically generated information into human readable form.
You got it right! There are various output devices connected in a computer. Will you name one?
Sir, a printer is an output device that prints a hard copy of the electronic data which are stored in the computer or any other devices. These electronic data may include documents, text, and images, or a combination of these three.
Very well explained! In addition to that, plotters, which are bigger machines, are used for printing blueprints and engineering and architectural plans. What else?
Sir, computer monitor is also an output device because we can see the text and images on the screen.
That's right! Monitors also come in different types. There are LCD and LED flat display screens that are commonly used nowadays. Just like the LCD screen of your Android cell phone, there's also the LED screen of your flat television. What output devices can you add?
We also have speakers as output devices. These are used to produce audio or sound that can be heard by listeners.
That's true! Speakers receive audio input from the computer's sound card and produce audio output in the form of sound waves. Are you enjoying our little exploration about output devices?
Yes, sir!
Well, that's great! In addition to monitors, speakers, and printers, we also have headphones and projectors which we use to project images onto a large surface like widescreen or wall. These computer hardware are all classified as output devices. The last classification of computer hardware is storage device. What is storage device?
Sir, storage device is a computer hardware that is used to remember or store data.
That's right! RAM or random access memory is an example of storage device. It is the main memory of the computer. It is used to store data and instructions that are currently being processed by the computer's CPU. the data is temporarily stored in a RAM until it is saved to the secondary memory like a hard disk. The data in RAM is erased when the power is switched off. That is why it is also called volatile memory. It is measured in megabytes or gigabytes. Can you give me another storage device?
Sir, it is the ROM of the computer. ROM stands for read-only memory. Unlike the RAM, which stores data temporarily, ROM stores data permanently.
You amaze me! ROM chips come from the manufacturer with programs already burnt in or stored. ROM is used in general-purpose computers to store important or frequently used programs. We will continue our discussion on the computer's storage devices after this infomercial.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. I have just finished accomplishing the task found in my module. How can I send you my outputs for checking and feedbacking?
Oh, that's a nice question. There are actually 3 ways for a student like you to submit your outputs. 1. It could be via online. That is, if you are capable to connect online. You can just upload your outputs in your Google Classroom, or you can take pictures and send them through your group chat or messenger account.
Ma'am, how about if we do not have internet connection?
If you do not have internet connection, you can submit your accomplished tasks in 2 ways. 1. You can ask your parents to submit your outputs in the designated drop-off center. 2. You can save your outputs if you have available flash drive, CD, or DVD at home, and submit it in the designated drop-off center in your respective barangay.
Wow! It's nice to know that there are varied ways on how we can submit our accomplished task.
Always remember, for submission of outputs, you can do it via online, offline, or physical submission. Because at Dance, we make amazing things possible.
Kayo nakikinig sa TLE Grade 8. Kasama si Teacher Michael Chan M. Tumulak.
I'm back! Let us continue the other computer storage devices. What is the central storage of a computer?
Sir, we have what we call the hard disk drive.
Hard disk drive is a magnetic disk which is considered the data center of the computer. What else?
Sir, another storage device is CD, DVD, or USB flash memory, or simply USB. These are removable storage devices.
That's right! These can be used to back up important data and information and are sometimes used to distribute, share, or transfer information from one computer to another. Now that you've learned the different computer hardware and classified them as input, output, processing, and storage devices, it's time to know about computer software and what do they do to operate a computer. You may have heard people talking about using a program and application or app. But what exactly does a software mean?
Sir, a software is a set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. It is required to operate and use the computer.
That's correct! computer software is classified as system software, programming software, application software, and driver software. Let us discuss them one by one. We start with the system software. Tell me what you know about system software.
Sir, the system software consists of an operating system or OS such as Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. It is designed to provide a platform for other software.
Absolutely! Alright, how about an application software?
Sir, an application or app is a type of software that allows us to perform specific tasks.
You have a point. Application software intended for laptops or desktop computers are called desktop applications, while those for mobile devices are called mobile apps. I believe that you are well aware of the infamous TikTok, Share It, Facebook, and Mobile Legends, and Microsoft Office like MS Word, MS Excel, and MS PowerPoint. These are all application software.
Yes, sir.
Another classification of computer software is programming software, which helps the programmer in developing other software. This includes compilers, assemblers, debuggers, interpreters, and many others. The last classification of computer software is driver software. These are the programs that enable a specific hardware to work with the computer's operating system. These are intended for the internal component drivers and hardware installers. Well then, it's time to check your learning on computer hardware and software. On page 2 of your learning activity sheets, do activity 1. Choose the letter of the best answer that corresponds to the statements. Are you ready to do it?
Yes, sir.
Alright, we will be checking your answers after this short reminder.
Mga kaibigan, sa panahon ngayon, kailangang magpalakas ng katawan.
Kumain ng masustansyang pagkain at sabayan ng pag-eehersisyo.
Huwag ding kalimutan ang pag-inom ng vitamins. Resistensya ay palakasin. Kalusugay huwag pabayaan upang sakit ay maiwasan.
Isang paalala mula sa himpilang ito.
Kayo nakikinig sa TLE Grade 8. Kasama si Teacher Michael Chan M. Tumulak.
I'm back! I'm sure you are done answering your first activity. Now, let us check if you got them all correctly. Let us answer item number 1. Which of the given examples is a computer? The choices are A. Cell phone, B. MP3 player, C. Television, and D. All of the above. What is your answer?
Sir, the answer is D. All of the given examples.
Very good! Now that you are done with activity 1, proceed with activity 2. Identify the given images and classify whether these are hardware or software. Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Let's try to answer item number 1. The image shows a round shape with 4 panels inside it. It is known as the Windows operating system. What is your answer?
Sir, it is software.
That's right. I hope that you have answered activity 2 perfectly. It's time to answer activity 3 on page 4 of your learning activity sheets titled Look Me Up. Loop the letters to form the software names needed to identify the items defined in each of the statement below the box. Today, you have learned a lot, haven't you? Tell me what you understood about computer hardware and software.
Sir, I learned that computer hardware are the physical structure of a computer system. These are classified as input, processing, output, and storage devices.
Wow! What else have you learned?
Sir, I have also learned that software are the programs that tell what the computer should do, and these are classified as system software, application software, programming software, and driver software.
Precisely! Don't forget to make your reflections on today's learning. Answer the questions: what software do you usually use? How do you benefit from this software? Before we end our discussion, I want you to ponder on this Chinese proverb. Learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. So, don't ever lose it. On behalf of the production team, we would like to acknowledge our script writer, Teacher Floreline D. Velasco, our language editors, Teacher Jane Arlene Estapawan, and Teacher Susana A. Dumon. Our head teacher and content editor, Sir Jefferson F. Aguinaldo. This has been your radio teacher for today, Teacher Michael John M. Tumula. Stay tuned for our live discussion.
TLE Technology and Livelihood Education.
TLE Learning Area.
TLE Learning Area.
Automotive Servicing.
Beauty Care.
Electronic Products Assembly and Servicing.
Cookery.
Electrical Installation and Maintenance.
Dressmaking.
Computer System Servicing.
Mga leksyong pangkabuhayan. Edukasyong teknolohikal.
Matutunghayan dito sa
106.3
Dance Radio. TLE Learning Area.
Technology and Livelihood Education.
Learn and earn.
Dance Radio, siniharalan sa radyo, atid namin makabago, paraan ang pagturo.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 Dance Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta't magtulong-tulong, sulong edukalidad. Dance Radio, learning is amazing.
Ayan, Ma'am Joy, di ba? Talaga namang napakarami nating dapat matutunan sa computer system.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure maraming nakapakinig ng ating RBI. So, malamang meron na silang idea kung ano yung topic natin for this day.
Okay, so ano nga ba ang gamit ng computer, Ma'am Joy? Kumahanap ng isang pan.
So, napakaraming gamit ng computer, Ma'am Flori. Okay, at the moment, we cannot go live without the computer system. Tama ba?
Yes,
Ang ating mga estudyante, they cannot watch our live discussion without connecting to the internet through their mobile phones or through their laptops and desktops. So, ano nga ba yung ating mga objectives for today? So, first, let's start with the introduction of our objectives. So first objective is to identify and differentiate hardware from software. So kailangan daw nating ma-identify at kumpara ang hardware and software. And the second is to enumerate the different types of hardware and software. Back to you, Ma'am Floreline.
Okay, wow, ma'am, wow na wow talaga, Ma'am Ryan, di ba? So I am sure that our learners can't wait. Kaya let's start already.
Yes.
Let us have our learners answer the puzzle first. So magpa-puzzle muna tayo para ma-motivate yung ating mga students, which can be seen on their screen so that they will have a bird's eye view on what they will learn today. What should they do, Ma'am Joy?
Okay, so ito yung gagawin natin. Direction is identify a computer hardware by combining the name of the pictures shown. So,
Okay.
meron kaming ipapakita na
Mga pictures. Okay, by the way, yung mga makakasagot dito sa puzzle natin ay mabibigyan natin sila ng 5 points sa kanilang performance. Iti-take note natin yung mga learners na makakasagot ng tama, tapos i-coordinate natin sa kanilang mga TLE pictures. Okay, so mabigat yan, ma'am, performance, di ba? Ang sa TLE kasi is 70%. So, kung tama yung masasagot nila, sila yung unang makakasagot dito sa puzzle na to. Siyempre, meron na silang reward kagad. So, let's start.
Ma'am, ikon lang muna natin ha.
Okay po.
So, dito is entitled po ang lahat ng ating TLE.
Yung mga learners, basta i-coordinate lang po sa ating mga kan.
9 and 10. So, I will be giving points. The same with TLE 8. And of course, siyempre yung sa ICT 8 na 7 and 8 ng science classes. Ano, ma'am?
Yes po, para lalo silang ma-motivate. Let's start na po.
here are the pictures.
Okay, so yung unang picture ay susi plus
Sara.
Isang, ano ang sagot? Ayan, marami nang sumagot. Ang unang nakasagot po ay si James Aquino. From 8, Aristotle. Okay, congratulations. Congratulations kay James Aquino. Sulat ko na kasi makakalimutan ko po eh.
Uy, dati kong estudyante yan ha.
Okay, so ang sagot dyan ay
keyboard.
Ayan,
Okay.
congratulations.
Next.
Okay, sige. Next po. Pero marami na nakasagot naman po ng tama. Sina Sofia Bianca Rustique, Casey Pineda, Jamie Miel Lamog, tama po yung mga sagot nila. Congratulations sa inyong lahat. So let us proceed with number 2 puzzle. Ito. Ito naman. Ano naman ang answer natin dyan?
Basta mag-comment lang kayo ng mga answer nyo para malaman natin kung tama or mali.
Okay, o yan, may nakasagot
may nakita na ako.
Si Miss Felerita Annabel Acupido. Okay, so ang sagot niya ay
RBI, ang anak ni Ma'am Acupido.
okay, si Felerita.
Gusto niya man din binigyan ng ulit ng RBI.
Ang sagot niya ay hard disk. Okay, so hard, matigas. Kasi di ba plus disk. Okay, so ang sagot natin dyan ay hard
disk.
Hard disk.
Okay. May mga ibang sumagot din, ma'am. Tama din yung mga sagot nila, katulad nila Precious Daniela, Jake Dulay. Kaso nga lang may nauna na.
Okay. Tama rin yung sagot nila Aaron Kurt de Vera, Jake Ian Dulay, TJ Arimbuyutan Antolin, Minerva Corameng. O yan, marami talagang sumasagot.
Actually, ang dami nagsagot.
Oo, ma'am, tama naman yung sagot nila. Okay, so
Very active ang mga
proceed
learners
tayo. Ang saya-saya nito, di ba? 5 points na performance. Okay, next. We have this one.
Parang medyo mahirap to.
M and S with letter R. Ano kaya yun? Ano kayang hardware ito?
Okay, abangan na natin.
Abangan natin, merong may sasagot. Ayan, si Princess Althea. Saya-saya.
Congrats!
Money and the paper being torn. Okay, so ang sagot natin dyan ay
monitor.
Yan, monitor.
Okay.
Nakalimutan ko si
Tama
Althea.
din ang
Naisunod ko,
sagot
ma'am?
ni Tama din yung sagot nila, Jamie Mielamug, Nora Rosete, Casey Pineda, Janelle Salvador. Ang sagot nila also ay monitor. Ang daming mga sumasagot, very
CSS
From Socrates
So,
to.
CSS 10, screenshot nyo lang po yung inyong mga sagot and then i-PM sa akin.
Opo.
Kahit na hindi kayo ang nauna, I will give additional points.
Oo, mas mainam siguro screenshot then send it to your teacher.
Okay. So, kay Ma'am Ryan, lahat ng mga nagpa-participate sa kanya, binibigyan niya ng performance score, ma'am. Kaya ang sabi niya, i-screenshot lang daw nila yung mga sagot nila para alam naman niya kung sino talaga yung nagpa-participate ngayon. Kasi di ba marami lang yung nag-screenshot tapos mag-out na para makakuha lang ng
Dapat pag nag-screenshot sila, dapat pangalan talaga nila.
At yung sagot nila.
Dapat itapat ka sa pangalan nyo.
Ma'am, may nahuhuli kasi tayo kung minsan, di ba, pino-forward lang nila yung screenshot ng classmates
tama.
nila. Ayan, baka akala ng mga iba, hindi natin tinitingnan yung mga factors din na ganyan.
Move na tayo, Ma'am Ryan.
Let's move on
Okay,
sa
ito naman.
activity. We
Okay.
are going to name the logo by arranging the jumbled letters. So, ito, nagpapakita sa screen yung ating logo. Ano kaya ito? It's a logo.
I-arrange lang po ang jumbled letters.
Ayos natin yung jumbled letters.
Okay, may samugot si Jamie Miel Lamug. Congratulations kay Jamie Miel.
Siya na naman. Parang naano na siya kanina.
Ma'am, yung mukhang robot na yan. It starts with letter
A. Okay, so ang sagot natin dyan ay Android. Okay, so madalas natin marinig yan pagka, di ba? Pag bibili tayo ng cellphone.
Karamihan ng mga ginagamit po ninyong cellphone, yan po ang naka-install na operating system.
Okay,
let's
tama.
proceed to the next
Okay, this one.
logo.
Ay,
Okay, ito naman.
very familiar yan.
Ma'am, yung ating mga letters na...
Ay, yung letters
sorry po.
nag-appear sa screen.
Okay.
Sorry po, yan po yung ating jumbled letters.
Okay, mag-comment na agad.
Hindi na rin familiar dyan kapag
May sumagot kanina, window raw.
Kaya ng laptop.
Ayan, si Sofia Bianca Rustique. Siya naman ang nanalo dito.
Starts with letter M.
Ang sagot
Ano
ay...
ang sagot?
Okay, Microsoft. Congratulations.
Tama din ang sagot na
Okay,
isang
sulat ko lang
estudyante,
ulit.
si Minerva Kuraming ng 10 SPJ. Microsoft din ang sagot niya.
Okay. Oo, marami
PJ
rin.
Arimbuyutan, Antolin,
Zulika Altea Bimoy.
Karin Bautista, Microsoft, tama.
Yan, mga
Daming nakakuha ng
taga-Copernicus.
tamang sa... Pero dito medyo may ilan akong nakita na ang sagot nila ay Windows.
Kasi wala pa yung choice, wala pa yung jumbled letters kanina, ma'am.
Na-excite sila kagad sa pagsagot.
Okay, so proceed tayo. Meron pang isa. Wow, eto.
Ayan.
Ito naman.
Yan pa yung isa na very famous.
Mga ginagawang hobby.
Nagaganyan ka ba, Ma'am Florily?
Hindi ko pa na-try, pero nanonood ako dyan, ma'am. So, from Sweetel Faith. Sweetel
Hindi mo
Faith
pa na-try, Ma'am
Arenzana.
Ryan?
Na-try ko na, ma'am, pero hindi ko lang
I-hold ko
talaga
ulit. Sweetel
nagalitan
Faith.
ang kanyang software.
Sweetel Faith Arenzana. Okay, ang sagot dyan sa logo na yan ay, of course, the infamous. Diba? TikTok.
Okay, ngayon may ginagamit yan. Kasi
Okay.
yan ang isa sa mga in sa mga kabataan.
Sige po, so proceed na tayo. Kanina po ay dinefine natin yung computer system as a set of integrated devices that are used to input, output, process, and store data as well as information. Okay? So, na-stress, na-i-explain natin yan kanina bago pa tayo nag-start sa ating RBI. But we have to compare first. I-compare natin yung hardware sa software. Okay, unahin muna natin magbigay ng definition on hardware.
Okay, so hardware is a physical element of a computer or electronic system. So, ibig sabihin ng physical, nahahawakan.
Nakikita.
At nakikita.
Okay.
Samantalang ang software naman ay a collection of instruction that tells the computer how to perform a task. So, kabaliktaran naman ito ng hardware. So, kung kanina, yung hardware ay nakikita at nahahawakan, itong si software naman ay set of instruction na hindi natin nahahawakan, pero pwede natin makita. It controls the hardware.
So let us again give a definition on hardware.
Okay. Meron din, Ma'am Flori, it is also classified as input, storage, processing, and output.
So yan, sa hardware yan, naka-classify
yan,
siya.
yes.
What about sa software naman?
Ito naman, classified as system software and application software.
So, dalawa lang yung classification ng ating software. Okay, what about, what else? Ma'am Ryan?
Okay, hardware is being developed using electronic devices. Samantalang ang software naman ay nade-develop by writing instruction using a programming language.
Programming
so, sabihin po yan, a hardware composes of electronic circuits, samantalang ang software, wala po tayong makikitang electronic circuits dyan, pero ang makikita natin ay
programs. Okay.
Tapos sa hardware din, ma'am, so pag sabihin natin hardware, physical in nature, while software, logical in nature.
Yan ang pagkakaiba.
So, ang laki talaga ng pagkakaiba nila.
Physical, ibig sabihin, tangible din siya. Ibig sabihin tangible, something that we can touch or something that is perceived by our sense of touch. Okay? And samantalang ang software naman, that is intangible. So, hindi mo siya nahahawakan. Although, nararamdaman natin yung kanyang effect or nafe-feel natin yung kanyang effect, bawa sa yung sense of hearing natin, di ba? So, yung sa program, kapag ka na-i-apply na siya, na-i-run na siya, pwede natin marinig. Pwede natin marinig yung sound. Okay? Ulitin natin, ang hardware is tangible, while software is intangible. Okay? And hardware starts functioning once the software is loaded into the system, while software naman should be installed into the computer so that it will function. Ayan, yan yung pagkakaiba ng hardware at saka ng software. Clear kaya tayo ngayon? Sana ay clear tayo doon. Okay? Now, payamanin muna natin yung ating vocabulary. Okay? So, let's get to know more of this computer's hardware and software. Meron tayong mga terms na dapat nating malaman. So, ito meron tayong input, process, output, and storage. Ay, isa-isahin natin. Ma'am Ryan.
Yes, Ma'am Lori. So, umpisahan natin sa input. So, input is something that can be entered into or something that we fed into the computer system.
Yes.
Ano ito pinapasok natin? Pinapasok natin dito. So, we have letters. Text tayo. We also have our voice or sound pag tayo ay nakikipag-usap. Okay? We also have graphics, pictures, motions. So, yun yung mga ating pinapasok sa computer system. Next is the process. The process is a series of actions undertaken to achieve a result. So, when we say process, so these are the different actions na ginagawa natin para maka-achieve ng something kapag pinasok na natin yung data sa computer. Halimbawa po ng mga process, pwedeng bang magbigay ka ng example ng process?
Sa input muna tayo, magbigay tayo ng example. I-relate natin sa real life situation yung sa input, ma'am. So, I think input is something that can be entered into or something that are being fed into. pwede nating i-relate ito sa cookery, yung input, ma'am. So, in cookery, the things that are considered input here are the ingredients. Do you agree? Yung mga ingredients, input natin yan.
That's right, ma'am. So, that is input. Yun yung mga nilalagay natin, di ba, pag sa pagluluto.
Okay.
So, ganun din sa computer. Ito yung mga ine-enter natin sa computer.
Okay. So, how about
Yung mga
process?
commands.
Kung meron na tayong sa cooking, kung meron na tayong ingredients as input, what about the process naman?
Yung process naman, kung ihahalin tulad natin ulit sa pagluluto, parang ito naman yung steps or procedures kung paano mo lulutuin yung pagkain na gagawin natin.
Okay, tama. Let's say, for example, kung paano magluto ng adobo, di ba? So, merong certain procedure yan. Kung paano tayo magluto ng adobo. Di ba? So, meron na tayong input. So, those are the ingredients. And then we have the process. These are the step-by-step procedure para makagawa tayo. In our example is paggawa ng pag-prepare ng dish which is adobo. Okay, so now, output na tayo.
Okay, so output is something that is produced through a process. So
Yung
these are
pagdadaanan
series
mo talaga yung
of
process.
actions. Okay. For instance, the preparation of the adobo dish. We consider the ingredients to be the input. Then the steps in cooking the adobo is called the process. Then we have the adobo dish as an output.
As our output na. Okay.
Wow. So,
nakakagutom naman yan, adobo, di ba?
Oo nga. Kakakain lang natin pero mukhang nagugutom ulit tayo. And I hope that our learners can relate to that. So, we can also apply this in education. So, hindi lang sa cookery, ma'am.
Yes, education.
So, paano naman sa education? Ganito yon. We give the information to the learners.
Tayong teachers.
Tayong mga teachers for them to understand. Tapos, they will analyze and process to have a reasonable outcome or output, which later on, they can apply it in handling real-life situations. So, doon naman siya maiahalin tulad.
So, what about storage? Siya na yung storage na siya, di ba? Okay, so it is the act of putting or keeping things in special place for future use. O, balik tayo sa sa adobo. Di ba? Kanina, yung mga ingredients natin, yun yung input, and then the procedure, yun yung process, and then meron na tayong nalutong adobo dish that is considered our output, and then we put it in a storage or in a container. Okay? And then itago muna natin yan for future use. Diba?
Okay, pangmamayang hapunan
Pangmamayang hapunan na siya. Na pwede nating i-retrieve. Okay? So,
storage sheet freezer.
Okay, so saan ba natin ini-store ang mga lutong ulam? Siyempre, lagay natin sa refrigerator para sa long shelf life nila, longer shelf life nila. Okay, so I told you, our topic is really, really interesting. Now that you are knowledgeable about input, process, output, storage, you have to remember that computer hardware are also classified as this one. So, meron din daw classification ang computer hardware na input, process, output, and storage. Ma'am Ryan?
Correct ka dyan, Ma'am Flory. So, we are going to name the computer hardware that are considered input devices. So, the first activity earlier was to name the computer hardware, and one of this is the keyboard. Okay, so keyboard is a model typewriter. So, that accepts or inputs data instructions which are converted into a pattern of electrical signals.
So makikita natin, ma'am,
corresponds to binary code that can be processed by the computer through its CPU. So yan, nakikita natin sa ating monitor ang keyboard.
Tama.
Ang mga data, ang mga input na tinatanggap yan ay of course letters and numbers. So, dyan natin pinapasok yung ating mga instructions.
Paano ba nagwo-work, ma'am, itong keyboard? Paano siya na-consider na input device?
Okay, so paano siya nag-work? So, si
Example.
keyboard, you are going to key in a
Letter. Yes. For example,
let's say siya. And then, this keyboard will accept your letter na tinanggap na nanggaling sa iyo, and then i-convert niya into electrical signal. So, siya ang magko-convert, tapos ibibigay niya para ma-process ngayon ng ating computer. Okay, so there are only 2 digits that a computer can read or understand. So, these are sets of 1 and 0, which is being referred to as bits. So, a string of 8 bits constitute a byte. B-Y-T-E.
okay, so let us spell it out, ma'am. Baka sabihin na lang yung byte is yung kagat, which is BIT. So, yes. Sa computer, it is spelled as BYTE, and it consists of 8 bits. 1 byte is equivalent to 8 bits. Okay. So, please continue, Ma'am Ryan.
So, for example, a byte representing letter A is 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. So, di ba? Kasi nga, ang tinatanggap lang, kino-convert niya into binary signal. So, to represent a letter, so, kailangan niya yung gawing unique. So, meron siyang katumbas na byte. So, when you type the letter A in your keyboard, the code for that character is interpreted and processed by the central processing unit and is being reflected in the monitor as letter A. So that's how a keyboard works. So it is used by the user to communicate with the computer. Kasi si computer po, ang tinatanggap, ang naiintindihan lang niyang language is binary language.
Which are 0 and 1.
Wow.
Okay. Another commonly used input device is a scanner. Okay? So, it optically reads. Ano nga bang itsura ng scanner? Ayan. So, it optically reads an image, converts it to a digital signal, and these digital signals are stored or processed by the computer. So, ito yung paghalimbawang nag-scan ka, makikita mo doon sa computer mo, magre-reflect siya yung file na na-scan mo. Then, isi-save yan, i-store yan ng ating, pwede mo yang i-store sa ating computer. Okay. So, ulitin natin, scanner, it optically reads an image, converts it to a digital signal, and these digital signals are stored or processed by the computer. Okay.
Actually, ma'am, yung mga printers ngayon, yung mga bagong labas na printers, it comes with a scanner also. Makikita natin yan. Yung top part ng mga printer ngayon, yun na yung pinaka-scanner. Yung iba pwede ring Xerox. So, very
pwede
ano na siya.
mag-photocopy na. Parang all-in-one siya. All-in-one device. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. 3-in-1 na
And then, another input device na we have is the mouse.
Yan, so mouse.
Yan. So, I'm pretty sure na familiar ang lahat dito. Okay. So, it is a handheld pointing device which is used in navigating the computer. It moves the cursor and allows the user to select and open files.
So, yan yung ginagamit natin na pang-open.
Pang-select, pang-open.
Mag-double click natin, single click, yung mga may mga techniques din kasi kung paano gamitin ang mouse. May
Very
single click lang siya, may double click lang siya, ganun. Meron ding click, hold, and drag. Ayan. So marami yan, mapag-aralan natin later on. Mga additional information na lang natin yan. Okay. So on the screen is the first mouse prototype. Yan. Siya ay in-invent. Sinong nag-invent?
Siya ay in-invent ni Douglas Engelbert and built by Bill English in 1964. And it is made of
Wood.
Wood.
Ayan, kahoy, di ba?
Yan ang first mouse na ginawa doon. Imagine, iba, ang laki ng difference nila sa mouse ngayon.
Yes, ma'am. Ang ngayon nga, meron ng mga wireless, di ba?
Oo, meron na ding wireless.
Ito, tinamang haba ng wire niya. Pero ngayon, meron na tayong mga wireless na ano.
Paano yun? Ganyan din
mouse.
kaya yung gamit niya? Parang baliktad, ano?
Ganyan din naman, kaso yung port, yung mga dun sa dulo niya, sa mga adapters,
Hindi
plug
na
niya.
natin naabutan.
Siyempre, mga
Pala yung
plug na siya.
evolution ng mouse.
Meron ng evolution of mouse. Ayan. So, there are also other input devices. Ano-ano pa ba yung mga input devices? I'm sure alam na rin ito ng ating mga students dahil napag-aralan na rin nila. Nawala.
Wala ang ating PowerPoint.
Natakpan. Wait lang. Wait lang po.
Okay, anyway, yung iba pa nating mga
Napunta siya
examples ng input devices. So, we also have, aside sa mouse and keyboard, meron din tayong microphone, webcam, touch ball, and touch screen.
Touchpad.
Ay, touchpad. Touchpad kasi yun eh. Okay, correction, that is touchpad.
Yung parte doon sa mga laptops na ating ginagamit na para kahawig ng pag-control na kagaya sa touchpad yun.
Usually nakikita natin yan touchpad sa mga laptops natin. Okay.
Now, let's
ito yung
the
mga
processing
samples,
device.
other examples ng input devices natin.
Let us proceed now to the other classification of hardware, which is, Ma'am Ryan?
Processing device. So, next slide please. Okay, para makita ng ating mga estudyante kung ano yung tinatawag natin processing device. So, when we say processing device,
okay, yung mga processing device, it is known as
these are devices which are found in the computer that it affects and manipulates intact data. So, it's known as the brain of the computer and composes of CPU inside. Meron siyang tinatawag na CPU, which is generally a 2-inch ceramic square with a silicon chip called microprocessor.
Actually, Ma'am Ryan, when you open a computer, you can easily see yung central processing unit kasi siya yung square siya na para nag-i-stand out talaga siya pag bakit ba nag-o-open na ito? Di taas ko na nga yung cursor.
Okay. So, yung kung ibabase natin dun sa picture kanina sa ating PowerPoint, yon ang itsura ng CPU or Central Processing Unit. Pag inopen natin yung computer natin, makikita natin siya agad. Its speed is measured in megahertz and gigahertz. Hertz is a derived unit of frequency and is defined as 1 cycle per second.
So, we have to take note, Ma'am Joy.
Ano po, ma'am?
We have to take note, Ma'am Joy, that the higher the hertz or the frequency, the faster the process in of instructions is.
Yes.
And of course, wag natin kalilimutan, Ma'am Joy and Ma'am Florilyn, the higher the CPU, ibig sabihin, mas mahal din siya.
Mas mahal.
Kasi ngayon, nasa mas mataas. Kapag mas mataas kasi yung specification ng CPU mo, mas mabilis siya, mas marami siyang kayang i-handle na processes.
Mas
Another
powerful.
processing device is the motherboard. Ma'am Flory, ano ba yung tinatawag natin motherboard?
Okay. Next natin ay, I am not just sure bakit naghang yung ating monitor. Okay, pero while waiting for yung monitor natin na mag-move kasi naghang ata siya sa ating screen, ang motherboard, it is a computer's main circuit board. It holds the CPU. Okay, yung sabi ko kanina, pag binuksan mo yung tower, computer tower, makikita mo yung pinakamalaking main circuit board. So that is what we call the motherboard. It holds the CPU, the memory connectors for the hard drive and optical drives, expansion cards, video card, sound card, network card, and various external port and peripherals. Okay, so yan yung motherboard. Okay. Ayaw pa rin.
Hindi umaano yung ating PowerPoint.
Opo, Sir Dennis.
Anyway, habang hintay natin na
Sir
maayos,
Joshua.
it is very easy to identify the motherboard when you open a computer because it is the biggest circuit board that you can see. Kamukha ng CPU kanina, madali lang ding makita yung motherboard kasi isa siya sa pinakamalaki na
circuit board
na makikita natin pagka-open ng computer.
So yun, kasama siya sa processing device. Okay. So let us proceed with the third classification of hardware, which is the output device. Ma'am Ryan, what is output device?
Output device is any piece of computer hardware that is used to communicate the results of data processing carried out by an information processing system like computer, which converts the electronically generated information into human readable form.
Naiintindihan na natin.
Output devices. Okay. Sila yung mga device na nagbibigay ng output sa atin. Pwede natin itong nakikita, pwede rin natin hahawakan. Ayan, nagpakita na rin.
Okay na siya.
Sa ating screen. So, may we ask our learners to key in any output device that they know?
Ayan, sige. So mag-ask na naman tayo sa ating mga learners kung ano yung kanilang nalalaman.
Process ng computer.
So, comment lang po sa ating comment box kung mayroon na kayong alam na output device. Yan. So, i-comment na ninyo.
Magbigay ng example ng
pwede niyang
output
ilabas
device.
Yung ating naririnig. So, pwede rin niyang ilabas yung
pwedeng ipakita, iparinig.
Yung mga image. Yung mga text. Ayan.
Okay? So, ano-ano kaya yung mga yun? Output devices na yun.
Okay, check na. Oh, meron ng isang sumagot.
Meron na?
Si Gerson Marinay ng 8 Crimson. Ang sagot niya is printer.
Sige, pakitake note mo lang yan, ma'am. Si Miss Gerson Marinay.
Marinay ng 8 Crimson. Tama din ang sagot ni Nora Rosete ng 8 Aristotle. Oo, yun nga lang nauna kasi si Gerson. Pero tama din yung sagot ni Nora.
Okay.
Ayan, madami nang sumasagot. Printer, speakers.
Yun namin din ang unang-una nilang naibigay. Example, pakita natin sa ating screen.
Yung sample lang.
Okay. Yung unang example ng ating output device ay
printer.
Yan na ma'am Joy, sinasabi mo kanina na
ayan.
Meron na siyang scanner,
yes.
Meron pa siyang printer kasi 3-in-1 na siya.
Yan na yung uso ngayon
prints a hard copy of the electronic data which are stored in the computer or any other devices.
Okay, so what else? Meron din tayong
we also have monitor. This is a device where we can see the text and images on the screen. There are LCD and LED flat display screens that are commonly used nowadays, just like the LCD screen of your Android cell phone.
Okay, so, ayan, at least familiar na tayo that yung monitor na nakikita natin sa ating cellphone is considered as output. Sa mga desktop computers, so meron tayong talaga naka-separate na monitor. Okay? So yon mga monitor. Next tayo ay another output device.
The speaker.
So,
Okay.
they are used to produce audio or sound that can be heard by the listener. So, the speaker receives audio inputs from the computer sound card and produce audio output in the form of sound waves. They are being connected to a computer internally or externally. If you have desktop, laptop, smartphone, or other devices with built-in speakers, you do not necessarily need external speaker unless you need louder or surround sound.
So, meron na rin tayong mga
device na tumatanggap ng ating mga boses ng mga sounds yung microphone. Ngayon, ang naglalabas naman ng sound ay ang
speaker. Okay, meron na rin tayong mga wireless speakers ngayon. Di ba?
Oo, ma'am.
Okay.
Napaka-high-tech
naman
na
yung
ngayon.
evolution din ng speaker. Okay, other output devices.
Yes, meron din tayong projector, headphone, and plotter.
So yung plotter, yun yung ginagamit natin sa mga pag-print ng tarpaulins, katulad yung nandito sa likod natin, yung mga tarpaulins, ganyan. O kaya mga blueprint sa mga malalaking mga plans, ganon, architectural plans.
Mga blueprint.
Yes.
Okay.
Projector, madalas din natin nakikita yun sa projector, no?
Okay, so let's move on to storage devices.
Okay, pang-apat na tayo yun mga.
Oo, ito
So,
na yung
naka-input,
last.
may output, and meron na tayong process, and then we have the storage device. Okay, so it is a computer hardware that is used to remember, keep, or store data. Okay, so meron tayong mga examples dyan.
Okay,
yung first one is, Ma'am Ryan.
We have the read-only memory. So, read-only memory, it is not volatile memory that permanently stores instruction for your computer system.
So, it permanently stores. Yung kanina pala ma, meron tayong isa pa yung RAM, yung random access memory. So, ito yung temporary or volatile storage location for the computer. Kabaligtaran naman ni RAM, meron tayong read-only memory, which is kinoconsider yan na non-volatile memory, which permanently stores instructions of your computer. Then, ito yung isa pa, hard disk drive. Okay, so ano naman yung hard disk
drive? It is the central storage of the computer. It is a magnetic disk which is considered the data center of the computer. Ang storage capacity niya, 1 TB or terabyte is equal to 1,000 GB or gigabytes.
Actually, ma'am, hindi lang siya 1 terabyte. Marami pang mas malalaking size ng
actually, may mga lumalabas na mas
siya.
malaki pa. Parang sa mga USB lang din.
Okay, pero yung 1 terabyte is equivalent to 1,000 gigabyte. Okay,
next.
So, let's say, kung ang storage capacity mo, halimbawa yung flash drive mo, ma'am, kung ang storage capacity mo ay 16 GB, tapos makikita mo yung legend sa baba, out of the 16 GB, meron ng used na 14 GB. So, ilan na lang yung free? Let us ask the learners. Okay, so let's do the simple mathematics. Okay, so what should be
ilang GB na lang yung free dun sa USB mo.
Yan, o sige nga.
So again, meron tayong 16 GB, tapos 14 GB na yung used.
Ilan na lang natira?
Ilan na lang ang natira, ang available space ng USB mo.
Para maka-accommodate ng mga ida-download mo ng mga softwares at saka yung mga mga pictures.
Okay, ang dami nang sumagot. Ang una ay
Sino po?
Zarika Lakinta. Tama ba yung pronounce ko? 8 Copernicus, 2 GB. Correct.
Very good. Okay, ang galing naman niya. Simple mathematics ng tinatawag. Okay, at least na-refresh lang natin yung addition, subtraction natin. Okay, now let's proceed with software.
Software. Okay.
Software po. Kanina, puro hardware yun, na-classify into 4, and then now we have software po.
Okay.
Tingnan na lang po natin yung kanyang definition.
Okay. So makikita natin, a software is a set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. It is required to operate and use the computer. So yun naman ang definition ng software. Ano pa ba, Ma'am Flory?
It is classified as system software. Apat yan, naka-classify siya into 4. System software, programming software, application software and driver software. So tignan natin yung kabuuan niya para mas makita pa nilang, mas maintindihan pa nilang mabuti. So the types of computer, meron tayong apat: system software, programming software, application software, and the driver software. Ma'am Ryan, ano yung tinatawag natin na system software?
Okay, so system softwares are designed to provide a platform for other software. So ibig sabihin, itong klase ng software na to, siya yung mga unang inilalagay sa ating hardware para maging ready si hardware na tumanggap ng other software. So ito ang pinaka-importante sa lahat ng software kasi without the system software, you cannot install other software like your favorite games, your favorite applications, your other needed programs. So siya yung mga yun.
Okay, so what are the examples of system software po?
Windows, Linux, Mac OS. Okay. Sa mga cellphone naman, yan yung naririnig ninyong Android. So Android is an example of
operating system for smartphones.
Okay, then let's move on to programming software. So it helps the programmers in developing other software.
Okay, sa examples natin dyan, ma'am, mga compilers, assemblers, debuggers, interpreters, ito mga familiar, itong mga terms na ito is very common to all mga programmers po. Okay. So proceed tayo sa application software. Application software allows us to perform specific tasks. So kung makikita natin, kung magbabrowse tayo sa Google Play, ang daming mga application software na pwede nating ma-download.
Yes.
Alright, examples natin dyan, Facebook, yan yung TikTok, Share It, Mobile Legends, yun yung mga pinakapopular, Mobile Legends, yung Microsoft Office, so nandyan yung Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, at marami pang iba.
Then, we also have driver software. These are the programs that enable a specific hardware to work with other computers' operating system. These are intended for the internal component drivers and hardware installers.
Anong example doon, Ma'am Ryan?
At ang example naman niya ay
printer driver.
Yan.
So, ayan, para mag-work talaga yung ating mga printer, kailangan mong i-install yung kanyang driver. Kung minsan kasi nangyayari, no, you have a 3-in-1 printer. Nakakapag-print siya, pero may scanner siya, pero hindi gagana sa scanner. So, ibig sabihin, kulang ka ng tinatawag natin driver. O kaya naman, kung minsan, sinaksak mo sa iyong, kinonect mo sa iyong computer, tapos naka-on naman at hindi naman sira yung printer, pero hindi siya makaprint, isa lang pong kadalasang problema dyan. Ibig sabihin, hindi po nakalagay yung tinatawag natin printer driver. So, napaka-importante rin, no, ng ating mga tinatawag na driver software.
So,
pati yung pagka nag-hang yung mga operating system natin, ma'am, meron yung operating system natin yan, may kaakibat din siya ng mga drivers.
Yes, tama yan. So our lesson today really help us identify and differentiate computer hardware and software. In addition to that, we are able to enumerate various computer hardware and software. Ma'am Joy?
Yes, ma'am. So, for the computer hardware, which are classified as input, output, storage, and processing device. So, for input, we have keyboard, scanner, microphone. For output, we have speaker, monitor, projector. Storage, we have RAM, ROM, hard disk drive, CD, DVD, USB, etc. And for processing, we have the CPU and motherboard.
Okay, so napakarami na nating naibahagi. I-check muna natin yung kanilang learning, how much they have learned today. So, meron tayong option dito, truth or fallacy. Okay, katotohanan ba to or kabulaanan lang? Okay, so, number 1, software, ipakilagay po yung sagot ninyo, truth or fallacy po. Truth kung katotohanan, if it is true, or fallacy if it is false. Alright, so software are programs installed in the computer. Alright, so you can answer now, software are programs installed in the computer.
Okay, and then
so
for number 2, computer hardware can be intangible. So ito yung mga assessment questions natin. And just comment your answers doon sa ating comment section.
Halimbawa,
lagyan ng A1 kung
tapos yung answer. Okay?
Tapos
A2,
A2.
tapos yung answer. Para alam namin kung alin doon ang sagot dito sa dalawang tanong na ito. Alright. So, nakuha ba? Meron bang nakasagot po, ma'am?
Okay, let's check.
Hindi ko lang sure kasi ang aking cellphone ay nag-stop na siya. Meron
Kaso
na
nga,
po
may
ba?
mga nagsagot pero pa isa-isa. Dapat ba pareho nila masagot, ma'am?
Okay po, okay lang po. So,
Okay.
ang nakasagot sa una ng tama po,
Teka.
software are programs installed in the computer. This statement is true.
True.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, hinahanap lang po nila
Ang
kung
dami
sino
nang
unang
nakasagot.
nakasagot.
Teka.
And computer hardware can be intangible daw. Take note, computer hardware can be intangible. Okay, so dapat ang sagot ninyo is A2, tapos truth or fallacy. O, ikaw, bahala ka dyan kung paano mo naintindihan. The statement says, computer hardware can be intangible. Okay, so kanina na-compare natin.
Keyword mga anak is the word in.
Ang daming sumagot. Okay.
Makukuha din yung tanong sagot.
Hindi ko ma-check yung una. Una ba dapat na?
Sige, yung una po. Okay, so move na po tayo sa, habang chine-check mo yan, makita ko na yung next natin.
Okay, sige.
Okay, so, hardware or software? Now, yan. So, we have,
Ayan logo yan.
anong logo to? Sabihin mo lang siya, just comment if it is hardware or software. Alright. And yung sa, for item number 2, for set B is this one. Is it hardware or software? Okay, Ma'am Joy, pakicheck po kung meron mga nakasagot na sa B1 and B2.
Actually, marami nang sumagot. Kaso nga lang hindi ko ma-check kung sino ang una. Dahil napakaano niya. May nakita na ako. Ito, may nagsagot si Lian Nicole Galang. B1 software. Yun yung sagot niya. And then for
Si Maria
Princess Altea, B1 o software din yung sagot niya. Ito, Jamie Miel Lamog.
Lambog ulit.
B2, hardware naman ang sagot niya.
I-announce na lang natin kung sino yung mga nakakuha, ma'am. Pero dun sa klase natin, ibanggitin na lang to natin. At kung sino yung mga nakakuha ng unang tamang sagot dito ay magbibigyan ng load. Ang sabi ni ma'am, sabi ni Ma'am Joy, magkano ibibigay mong load?
Sa mga estudyante ko,
Sa kanya?
sa SSC,
Copernicus.
8 Copernicus at 10 SPJ. So, paki-PM na lang sa akin. At sasabihin ko kung sino yung dalawang nanalo. 1 per section.
Okay, 1 per ako
Mag-PM
din.
na lang kasi wala na tayong oras.
Sige. Basta hanapin na lang namin dito kung sino yung unang mga nakasagot sa ating assessment question na truth or fallacy at saka hardware or software. O yan, o sige. So maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga nakinig at naki-participate sa ating discussion today. Hanggang sa muli, kita-kita tayo sa susunod na mga usapang TLE po.
Okay, thank you!
TLE, Technology and Livelihood Education. TLE, Learning Area, Automotive Servicing, Beauty Care, Electronics Product Assembly and Servicing, Cookery, Electrical Installation and Maintenance, Dressmaking, Computer System Servicing, mga leksyong pangkabuhayan, edukasyong teknolohikal, mapapakinggan dito lang yan sa 106.3 Dance Radio. TLE, Learn and Earn. Ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Dance Radio.
Prepare yourself.
Ang silid-aralan sa radyo, hatid namin ay makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo at kaalaman. Mapaumaga, tanghali o hapon man yan, ang istasyong magbibigay impormasyon kahit saan man.
Alright, here we go.
106.3 Dance Radio. Doña Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela.
This
106.3 DWBR FM.